What's up, guys? This is Zedd, and I'm back doing another most requested live. My new song is called Make You Say. I hope you've heard it. If not, please check it out. And as I mentioned, I'm doing another most requested live. Ask Me Anything. I think this is my third or fourth one. And quick shout out to Romeo and iHeartRadio for having me on tonight. It's always a pleasure to do this. So you guys have sent me a bunch of questions, and I'm going to go through as many as I can and answer them right now. Let's see. So Stacy from Brazil is asking, do you think repeating a collab demands more from the music, production, vocals, as the public will always expect something as good or better than the previous song? So I think, and I'm not an expert in this because I've actually only really collabed with the same artist a handful of times at most. And I guess I never think about one-upping the song previously done or anything like this, because to me the reason to collab with an artist is not because you're trying to make a song huge, but it's more so because you want a collaboration to be better than anything you could do by yourself. And to me, in my case, as somebody who doesn't know how to sing well, it is to work with some of these phenomenal artists who have amazing voices. And, you know, these artists that write stuff that I could never write. So for me, it's really more about adding that color to my music than to collaborate because we want the song to be bigger or better than what we did before. So I guess publicly speaking, yeah, I assume people will always expect more than, you know, usually people deliver, because expectations are usually greater than anything that anyone ever delivers. But in the case of Maren, for example, I just really love Maren and I love working with her. So doing Make You Say with Maren was not about one-upping the middle by any means. It's a completely different type of song, but it was just about us working together because we have appreciation for each other and because she's amazing. That was way too long of an answer, so I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter. Morgan from Evansville says, who are some of the nicest, most down-to-earth celebrities that you've met in the music industry? It's a really good question. There's actually a surprising amount of really, really nice people in the music industry. I think some of the people I met really early on, like Skrillex, has been incredibly kind. People like David Guetta have been so supportive, or Tiesto. Obviously, I'm naming some of the DJs right now, but honestly, I've only had amazing experiences. I mean, I love Katy Perry. She's always been so sweet. I loved meeting Ariana Grande. She's been incredible as a human being and obviously as an artist. And also obviously Maren. I mean, the tricky thing about mentioning everybody right now is that I'm going to literally have to mention most people I've ever worked with. So I think counterintuitively, most people that I've met in the music industry are actually really kind and supportive. So yeah, most, I guess, would be the short answer. Maren from Bangladesh says, what is one message you would give to your fans? I hope that, and I've always hoped that my fans know that if I release something that I've put a lot of thought behind it. I'm not an artist who just randomly releases something and hopes it's good. I spend a lot of time on my music, and when I release it, it kind of gets my stamp of approval, and I hope that my fans know this. I have probably released substantially less music than most artists that have been around for a decade, but I always go for quality over quantity. I'm not good at just rushing out music. I like to take my time. I like to really think about every aspect of my songs. And yeah, I hope that my fans know that if I ever release something that sounds a little different from what I've done before, I hope that my fans give it a shot and just listen to it a few times, because some of my favorite songs that I love in my life, I actually didn't like the first time I listened to it, but because I had so much respect for the artist, I gave it more chances, and eventually it clicked for me and I understood it. And some of those songs, like 4 Miles by Thrice, for example, was a song, I heard it for the first time and I was like, I don't know, this isn't the Thrice that I remember. And then I grew into loving it so much more than what I've known from that band before. Alrighty, we have a lot of questions. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. Who's your alter ego when performing? Asked by Melissa from Kitchener in Ontario. I'm just myself. Zedd is not a character I play. I'm not an artist that has some sort of, helmet or, like an alter ego in any sense. I'm just myself. Zedd used to be a nickname that my friends gave me. So, I am who I am as a human being and as an artist and as a performer. So I'm not anybody different when I'm on stage. Oh God, how do I pronounce her name? Jolene from Kansas City. I hope I pronounced it correctly. How was the process into getting Maren Morris to collab again? It was actually really similar to the first time. Maren has heard Make You Say and she really liked it, and she recorded a little demo, which is a process I usually ask singers to do before I get in the studio with them, because I don't want to waste anybody's time. And the idea is that the singer will just record a rough demo of the song so I can hear how they sound on it, how their voice color sounds on a track, and how it fits. And if it's just not the right fit, I would always rather work with that singer on something else than wasting their time. And she sounded amazing, just like she did with the middle. So we actually, ironically, I flew into Nashville where she lives, like the next possible day, and it was the same exact room we have recorded the middle in Nashville. So it was kind of really nice because the first time we recorded the middle, that was also our first time meeting. This time we had known each other, we've performed together so many times, and it was like meeting a friend and doing it with a friend, which is always more fun. Jayla from Chicago is asking, what have you learned from being in the music industry? So I've been in the music industry most of my life. I've started making music when I was 4, and I started being in a band when I was 12, and now I've been Zedd for over a decade. And I think what I have learned for myself is that being genuine and always going for long-term relationships gets you much further than thinking short-term and trying to take opportunities that you will possibly regret in the long run. I pride myself, and I think my team, with always being respectful and nice to anybody that we talk to, work with. And I sometimes get that feedback back, and that's always really nice. And I think if I gave somebody advice from what I've learned is that to try to think as long-term as you can, whatever your goals are in life. But for me, I never was interested in having that next year success or 2 year success. I wanted to have success for 20 years and 30 years. And sometimes you got to give things time and not rush them and not jump on opportunities that you might want to regret later. Elizabeth from, oh boy, Sarasota in Florida. Are you ready for your big show on the 9th? How did it come together? So my big show on the 9th, and I hope I'm not messing this up, but was the orchestra show that I did. And it was a 2.5 months long process that we decided to take on. And we worked with Ben, Matt, and Adam, 3 incredible orchestrators, to take my first album, Clarity, and reorchestrate the whole thing, reimagine the whole thing, how it would have been if I wrote it for an orchestra. So my goal wasn't to do a one-to-one translation from my production into orchestration, but rather to think outside the box and really make it a musical translation that mostly goes for the drops and for the build-ups, because those are the parts that heavily rely on production. Yeah, it was an incredible experience. I'm so proud of the team and everybody involved for pulling this off, and I'm really, really happy, and honestly made us think whether I should play more orchestra shows, because it's not something that I've ever done before, but everybody seemed to really enjoy it, including myself. So we've been thinking maybe it's something we'll do in the future. Alex from Las Vegas, Nevada. What is your favorite soap to use? What is the brand called again? Aesop. I love their stuff. I love everything they make. It's my favorite soap to use. Stephanie from North Hills. Throughout your entire career, is there a memory you'll forever remember? Oh, Stephanie. I think I have a lot of memories that I will never forget from playing Red Rocks for the first time. And, you know, I remember I'm a huge fan of Incubus, the band. And I just remember when I saw their DVD or VHS, whatever it was back in the day, of them playing at Red Rocks, I told myself one day I want to do this myself. And playing at Red Rocks for the first time was definitely a really emotional experience. Winning a Grammy has been an unbelievable memory. And honestly, playing this classical concert that I just did, I had tears in my eyes this entire time. I sometimes couldn't see the keys. It was so emotional to see people who have been supporting me since day one, you know, flew from Japan over to LA to see me perform this one concert. It was just really an emotional experience to even go through the memories of making all these songs. Duncan from Victoria Falls. Nicest hotel you've stayed in? Wow, that's such a good question because each hotel has some nice parts. I think Four Seasons is, generally speaking, like my go-to. I really like their hotels. Four Seasons Punta Mita is particularly an absolutely unbelievable hotel. I really recommend everybody. And I probably suck at answering this question because there's probably some hotels that will be like standout hotels that I just can't think of this moment. But yeah, I'm just gonna pinpoint Four Seasons for now. Alexa from Bend, what's your favorite alcoholic and non-alcoholic drink? So my drink, as most people probably know, is Jack and Coke. So that's Jack Daniels and Coke or Coke Zero these days. It's been my stage drink for 10 years now. There's just something about it that I like when I drink it that makes me feel like I'm about to go on stage. And it, helps with the nerves a little bit. And I think when I'm off stage, I like something that's fresh, minty, fruity, that can be literally anything. My favorite non-alcoholic beverage is Spindrift. I got really into Spindrift, which is a sparkling water with just a little bit of real fruit juice. They have all sorts of flavors, lemon, grapefruit, you name it. It's only got like between 3 and 17 calories per drink. So it's kind of, you can afford it. And it's so fresh and not overly sweet. And I drink it every single day, for every meal. So I'm kind of obsessed, I guess you could say. Andrew from Kibolo, I hope that's how you say it. When will you do another tour with Skrillex as the opener? When will you do Skrillex as the opener? You mean Skrillex opening for me? I'm not sure that will ever happen. But I would definitely open for Skrillex. I owe him so much from my career, and he's an amazing friend and incredible musician. So I really hope to play shows with him again. We did a tour with Skrillex, myself, and Porter Robinson a long time ago called the Ausla Tour, and I would love to bring that back. I think that'd be so much fun. And I would definitely rather open for Skrillex than him open for me. I think that would not be appropriate. If you could, Elizabeth from Oakland is asking if you could make any activity you're good at into an Olympic sport and you could win a gold medal doing it, what would it be? Whew. It would be playing video games inverted, because I play video games inverted. So when I go up with the mouse, it goes down, and if I go down, it goes up. It's really weird. I've done this my whole life. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I do it. I would make this into Olympic sport because there's only very few people who do that, and I guess I would be automatically pretty good at that. Maddie from Orlando would like to know, from 1 to 10, how much do you like decorating for holidays? What are you doing for Christmas this year? So my whole life I've been celebrating Christmas with my parents, and I'm not religious, but it's just a time when we all get together. And ever since the pandemic, it was the first time I've actually spent Christmas apart from my family, and it was weird, and I really went all out and decorated my whole house, made it like Kevin, what's the movie called? Home Alone. Like really went all out, and it makes me feel really warm and nice, and I think I like decorating for Christmas. It's kind of an important thing for me. I'm not sure what my plans are yet. Either I'm going to be celebrating in LA where I live right now, or I'm going to be flying back to Germany to see my family who I haven't seen in a long time. So it's going to be one or the other, but I'm not 1,000% sure which one it is yet. Got a few more questions. Nat from Liverpool in England wants to know, do you wear patterned or plain socks? This is what I wear. What is it? I forgot what the brand's called, but I just got these socks and they're kind of nice. They're always just black. I only wear black socks, and these are very sturdy socks. Socks are actually kind of important for me because I jump a lot on stage, so I gotta find the right ones. I used to wear a lot of stand socks, and I still do, and now I wear these, which I'm not even sure what they're called. I'm sorry. Maybe if you work for this company, you recognize this logo. you could tell people what they are, but they're really good, and I really enjoy wearing them. Tiffany from Marco Island wants to know, do you have any pre-stage rituals? Well, if it's a night show, my ritual is just to have a Jack and Coke. And I like to hang with my friends. I'm not somebody who needs to be alone and stuff like that and prepare for my shows. I like to be with friends. But other than that, my rituals are obviously making my USB sticks, loading them up with new songs, and just going through the show quickly with my team to coordinate special effects, pyro, laser cues, if we're doing anything different than normal, and just make sure that the show is good. And then last one from Cher from Fort Worth in Texas. Favorite childhood TV show? I think my favorite show growing up was Dragon Ball. I still love Dragon Ball. I just watched all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z again. I think that was my favorite show growing up, I would say. If not, I'm not sure what else. Also, there's a show called Tsubasa, which is like a soccer show, like an anime. I've loved growing up, so it would probably be either that, one of those two. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for asking all these questions. I went through as many as I could, and I hope I answered them correctly, or as well as I could. And yeah, I just wanted to say a huge thanks to my friends at Most Requested Live. Again, this is my third or fourth time doing this, so I really always appreciate you guys having me back. Thank you for letting me answer your questions. Thanks to everybody who sent them in, and making them kind and not mean questions. I really appreciate you guys. And just to say it one more time, my new song is called Make You Say. It just came out with Maren Morris and Bose. And if you haven't heard it, give it a spin. Let me know what you think. If you have any other questions that I haven't answered, feel free to tweet at me directly, and I'll try to answer them, even though I suck at social media. Yeah, and special shout out, of course, to Romeo for having me on and for all your support throughout the years. You're the man. Thank you so much. Love you guys.